What I can tell you is that just looking at women in the up to 2022 statistics, it's like 40% of women use drugs. For every 5 men, you've got 1 woman, and for every 5 men who use drugs, you've got 2. So I'm one person that looks at the numbers for planning purposes, but I always want to see the human face beyond the numbers. Because the numbers in South Africa, not even yourself, you see it at every street corner, at every robot. Those are the numbers. What science does is just to quantify what we already know. And yeah, we are in trouble. That bit I can confirm. And we're not in trouble with regards to, like your cocaines and everything. We are in trouble because of designer drugs. So when other countries are struggling with what you could treat easily, for us, our treatment protocols is also what this summit will be looking at, because we don't know what we are dealing with. Today it's Retex, tomorrow it's what. So drugs that, like your cocaine, your amphetamine, your opiates, which is your pain medication, is the worst abused in South Africa. But they are legal. I mean, let's take it to the human. Think about Grandpa, my guy. It's for pain, but it is the most abused to the extent that it leads to dependency. And it's one of what we classify as an opiate. I like bringing it home, yabo. Everything for pain, when you abuse it, it's a drug. But we all, you take HIV, you take gender-based violence and femicide, everybody's trying to cope with something. And that is part of the problem.
Yeah.
But also, everybody is trying to get along. I always see myself, probably yourself, as a drug addict in waiting. And if all of us can see ourselves like that, we'll reduce issues of stigma, we'll reduce issues of discrimination, because I refuse to believe that there's one person that just wakes up and says, yeah, today, doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just the ARVs that are now made into these drugs, it's the cough mixtures as well. People are finding new ways to get high. Do you think we've got the right strategies, though, that are impactful, that can deal with also the root causes of substance abuse and not just the consequences?
Yeah, I can say that. I mean, our Treatment and Prevention of Substances Act of 2008, Act 70, it's one of the most detailed legislations around the world in terms of dealing with the issue around drugs. Our drug master plan, and especially this particular one, it's very human rights based. It gives, because it's the blueprint of the country. It tells us what we need to do. It tells us the kind of language, the strategies. The biggest challenge and frustration that we have as South Africa is that our family structure is not working anymore. And I will stress that. The family is at the root of our frustration. I work with children, and I've been on Newsroom Africa doing job. We are going to December. Do you know how many children from the age of 3 in January will be alcoholics? Do you know how many children between the 1st of December and the 30th and the 5th of January are going to be initiated in drugs? That is how you must look at it. Children will be drinking, and when they start, our youngest addict in South Africa is 3 years old. I'm not talking about those born drunk in terms of fast, no. I'm talking about those that access alcohol, and we take them to the Shabil, we give them alcohol when they want food, shut up when they cry, and it's an evolving. So we need to understand, for example, you said ARVs. Do you know that even bath salts are becoming synthetic drugs? The Vim, the Handy Andy, you're still talking about like cough mixture. Yes, cough mixture, when you mix it with sweets, you get high. But all of us, when we have the flu, what do? We boil the stony, we put in the Disprin, we drink. In our minds, we assume that, no, we are dealing with the cough. But no, South Africa. At that time, you are nicely high because what you have mixed is a brain-altering substance. The acid in the stony plus the acid in the Disprin, they alter your brain. So you're not coughing that night because you are high and your brain has been altered. You are still coughing, but because you're high, you assume that, hey, into Sita, I'm feeling better and my cough is getting better. There's no such a thing. And that's what we call synthetic drugs. And we need to just know, these are the opiates, these are the stimulants. You know that we are a very depressed country that uses a lot of antidepressants. The introduction of antidepressants are also an introduction to drugs. So that is how complicated our prevention is. And we need each other. We need communities, we need family members, we need early intervention, we need aftercare services.
Yeah.